What's up? What's up? Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are on a Thursday night, which it's been a long time. Actually, no, last week on my man Killjoy Jake's channel, we were together, and yeah, we're back at it tonight. Um, are we calling this like? Is this are we getting official with this thing, man? We're calling it the Thursday night kill zone, or are we just kind of just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks?
I mean, you made a whole logo already. We have to call it that now. No,
Hey, that was
dude, like I just love how I'm jokingly like we should call it Kill Zone because that's like our names put together. And then Knight sends me a freaking logo today. I'm like, that's so cool. Like we're calling it that. That's so cool. That's awesome though, man. You did a killer job on that.
well, I mean, it was kind of like a first draft, and I was just kind of farting around with it. But I was like, I kind of dig it. It's like I kind of think it's kind of cool. I mean, who knows? Who knows? We're flexible kind of guys.
Yeah,
We'll,
yeah.
we'll see what sticks. Maybe next week it'll be like, I don't know. We are the monkeys. Who knows?
I'm down for whatever. We can have a whole board just coming up with names. Let's have a whole meeting about it.
Right. Well, we already got, what did they call the lethal collective? The lethal directive or detective?
Detective. Yeah.
Detective. Yeah.
Lethal
So-
Detective Thursdays.
50% of the detectives.
50%.
Jesus. All right. So I've got my buddy Killjoy Jake with me tonight, and we are going to be talking some horror, kind of a little bit of a continuation from his stream last week, which was a blast. If you guys haven't checked it out, please make sure you do. It was so much fun. And so we're going to continue that, plus talk about two films that we both have recently seen. I was so lucky to have seen them over the weekend, and that's a big thing for me. I was able to get away from the kiddos, and we and we saw two movies. It was great. For you guys that are here, welcome. We see you guys. Thank you. Paula's in the house. Good to see you, Paula. We got Ben. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hey, we got Polar in the house. What is up? All right. Hope you're doing well. Who else? Rachel. Hey, Rachel. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Jean is always there. Thank you so much. We got our first upvote, Jake.
Oh, there we go.
Love Killzone. There you go.
Okay. See,
It's got to happen now.
it's not like it's love night. So we got to keep it. I mean, come on now.
The pressure's on. Oliver, what's up? Polar says the kill zone is quite the name. There you go. Woo.
That's not as good as love, but okay.
Yeah, it's close. Hey, well, she's dipping a toe in there.
Dipping the toe in the kill zone. Okay.
You got to get the whole foot, but at least we got the toe. All right. What's up, Ronan? What is up, bro? Hope you are doing well. Man, good to see you here. We got May in the house. What's up, May? Good to see you. Richard. Who else? Polar said, update, super love. All right. Nice. You guys rock.
Okay, that's better than love. Yeah. Okay, rock on. Good.
Right. And Lighting Ghost. What's up, man? All right. You guys are all right. All right. We got to give the hearts, man. We got to give the hearts. All right. So, Jake, last week we were talking about upcoming horror, and it was a really fun conversation. And I know there were a few movies we didn't really get a chance to get too deep into, but just as a recap, for those that may not have joined us last week on your channel, which, by the way, guys, next week, get ready to hopping over to Jake's channel on Thursday. We're just basically going to switch back and forth. But what's coming up that really has you excited, man?
There's so much, man. October is stacked, like big time. I am so excited for, Shelby Oaks to see One of Us, Chris Stuckman, go and make a horror movie. I've talked to a ton of YouTubers already who've seen it, and just nothing but praise, which is so exciting. So that one's like very high on the list. Movies I'm like just personally, maybe the most excited for. I love me some VHS. I cannot wait to see a new installment of that coming out this over on streaming. But theatrical release, man, I think it's got to be Black Phone 2. This is a sequel that just came out of nowhere. I think it could be
Yeah.
better than the original. So those always number one on my list when a sequel can top what came before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we were kind of gushing about Black Phone 2 last week, and I knew we would continue the waterworks, so to speak. Um, I listen. I've said it a couple of times, and I mean it. I seriously mean it. This could change so much for the horror landscape. This could literally be the true birth, of another icon. Once you get to the point where you're supernatural and you've got great storytellers behind the camera, and you've got fantastic talent in front of the camera, dude. I mean, it's a great equation. And Ethan Hawke, I mean, man, that trailer. It's funny because when I saw, I think it was The Long Walk, they played Black Phone 2,
Oh
and
yeah.
on that big screen, man, and just some of the visuals, I'm like, I'm down for this, man. Because I mean, I think a lot of us, especially us old school heads, we're all missing Elm Street, and
Yeah.
we kind of get a chance to, you know, take a little bit of a left turn and get some of that, man. I think it could be a really important film.
Well, and this is a movie that some people don't want to ever hear the name of, unfortunately. But In a Violent Nature, I feel like in a weird way, scratched that itch for like Friday the 13th, like
It
kind of
did.
getting like another one of those. It's not everybody liked it, and I understand why. It did do some things different, but it had that
Hmm.
aesthetic
It
and
did.
kind of told a similar story. I feel like we're getting into something really similar here with Black Phone 2. I don't think it's going to
Hmm.
be a straight up Freddy story like how we know and love him, but
Yeah.
it's going to utilize those same tools from that toolbox to do something kind of different, And that's
Yeah.
what I'm really excited to see, taking the concept of dream demons and doing it the Scott Derrickson way, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, seriously. I mean, some of the visuals. I mean, obviously, it's not a spoiler because the trailer is out there, but some of those visuals, man. That one scene where there's blood coming out of one of the kids, and they're twirling around sideways, kind of like that, and the blood is like, it's like it just looks crazy, and I'm like, yes, thank you. And I mean, I'm just so excited for it because seriously, I think that it could be so creative, it could be so different. And who would this is the other thing. This is like a Rocky situation. And Rocky, I have a huge affinity for Rocky. He's my favorite movie character ever. But who wanted a Black Phone 2? I didn't. I mean, but they
Dude,
might be
yeah.
proving me wrong.
I remember when they announced it, I'm like, oh, Blumhouse trying to squeeze the extra little penny out of this,
Yeah.
making it into a franchise when it doesn't need to be. And then I saw the trailer and I
Yeah.
shut up. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I see what they're doing. Because I don't know if you remember, but Jason Blum had some comments like years ago saying like, oh, Robert Englund's not that old. I'll get him back in the makeup to do Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly think he was proven wrong. I think he he tried to figure all that out and was like, I can't make it happen. We're gonna just turn one of our pre-existing things into Freddy Krueger now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because look, I mean, and God bless Robert. Robert's awesome. By the way, he is such a character in real life. When we saw him at the convention, I think it was 2 years ago, there was the Elm Street reunion. We went into a hall where he basically did a talk. Didn't talk at all. Well, a little bit, but not much at all about Freddy or anything like that, but just talking. Dude, he could talk about like ice cream and get you engaged. That's how much charisma that guy has. And so he'll always be legendary to me and to obviously so many others across this planet. But even he said, "Yeah, I'm just too old. I can't do any. I'm too thick." He said, "I'm too thick." I
Yeah, he
mean,
is.
so I mean, but God bless him, man. I mean, he did so much in that franchise, and it did so much for horror. If you really think about it, it kept the slasher subgenre strong, and rocked it for well into the 90s. And I mean, it was just something so different. We had never seen anything like Freddy. But now, 30 years later, or 20, since maybe the last, well, you had the remake, but you get what I'm saying. It's been a long time. Now we're talking 15 years. Now we get a chance to kind of, like you said, scratch that itch, and I can't wait. I'm all for it, man.
Oh
All for
yeah. And like I said, no disrespect towards Nightmare on Elm Street at all, but I'm glad that something is filling the void because we're in this slasher craze again right now. It's like this
Yeah.
renaissance of the subgenre, and there's not like we have Art the Clown, and that wouldn't exist without Nightmare on Elm Street, which is great. But
Mhm.
I miss having Freddy hanging out with us. We just had
Yeah.
3 Michael movies.
Yep.
We're getting more Ghostface, which is great. But I just I'm missing some of the 80s rep here. I'm missing we don't really have Jason. We kind of have Jason now
Do
with the
we
short film.
though?
Yeah, exactly.
Do
We don't. We don't. Like that short, it was whatever, man. I don't know. I just we need one of the guys from the 80s to pop up on the big screen, I think. We really need
Yeah.
that. And it's
Yeah,
nice at
man.
least having In a Violent Nature and Black Phone too, at the very
Yeah.
least.
Are you now? Let me just say this too, man, because I don't think we've necessarily talked about it. And by the way, guys in the chat, we're going to be skipping all over the place, so you're just going to have to put your seatbelt on. I I've never really talked much with you, as far as In a Violent Nature, and obviously, they're trying to work on the sequel and all that. What are your quick thoughts on it? Because I definitely I definitely put mine out there. And it was like, what were your thoughts on In a Violent Nature?
I really liked it. I maybe
Uh-huh.
I'm crazy. Maybe my brain is all screwed up and wired incorrectly. But I put on that movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. I did get a screener and I thought that was really cool. And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, sick. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm so glad. They sent me this like basically a month early, and I watched it, and dude. I was like not totally sold with the concept until
Hmm.
you get to the kill, and you know
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. That
Yep.
I remember sitting at my computer and I just, it happens. I paused it and I'm like, I mean, I literally got up and did circles around the room. I'm like, no way did I just see that. What? I rewound the screener 3 times and watched that scene again. Movie, like, listen, I see a new movie every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go to the theater and review something pretty much every week. It takes a lot to get that reaction out of me. So
Yep.
I mean, look, does it have its does it have its valleys amidst its peaks? Absolutely. But I
Hmm.
think that it is a fantastic slasher. I would put it in the top 10 slashers of the decade, like without a doubt.
Well, guess what, buddy? This is one of those moments where we take a detour. Because I mean, listen, I'm conflicted with it, and I've had a lot of fun at its expense because, the kills they had, well, two really good ones, and obviously the one you're talking about, fantastic. I mean, when I saw that too, yeah, I looked over at Corey and I'm like, wait a minute, what? What are we doing? What the body shouldn't even be able to be thought of being doing that. It's like, come on.
You'll
So
never
that
eat pretzels the same way again.
never, never, never say namaste the same way either. But
No.
so that was great. And it had great moments. And it's a fantastic concept. Okay. When I first heard about that concept, I was just like, okay, why did it take so long for us to do this? You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like the pacing was off. And I just wish and I know it's tough because the idea is following Johnny's perspective. I get that. But I just wish there was some way, maybe if they, I don't know, maybe, and they did spend some time with the characters, but maybe some more time just so that we could get something. Like even when we got to the end, even with the final girl, I was just like, yeah, okay, well, what are we doing? Okay. And then we see Lauren Marie Taylor from Friday 13th Part 2. And I'm like, she knows how to be a character in a slasher in the woods. Like she popped, and that's no shade. But I just felt as though the pacing was off. And there were times when I thought to myself, okay, we're following him going through the woods and it's atmospheric, but we gotta have something else going on. And I've only watched it twice, and I've told myself I've got to give it a third time, just to really let it wash over. But I just felt like not disappointment, but I just felt like it was a great concept that didn't have the full execution that I wish it had. I'm curious what they're going to do for the sequel, and I'm going to see it for sure. And I would almost bet money that it will have better pacing, because they did
Yeah.
have to reshoot. they had to do reshoots for it. And I'm wondering if maybe that was part of the overall equation of what we saw, because sometimes that can really mess up a lot of stuff, as you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, without a doubt. What is fascinating to me about the film, and I totally get being like maybe bored with some sequences. A lot of it
Hmm.
is Johnny walking, but I
Hmm.
think to me the whole film is a rejection of the Friday the 13th formula. And like for me, like really watching that flick and almost feeling like disappointed with the ending. It's almost all done on purpose, like to kind of
Hmm.
just be like, well, here is where Jason would typically jump out for one last stinger scare,
Right.
but we're gonna pretend we're gonna set that up and not do that
Right.
at all. And that's
Yeah.
like to me, the whole film is that it's like everything that you would typically see here, we're gonna show you the other side of that, like in
Right.
every single, and it commits to that bit so hard that sometimes it almost may lose you because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, and where we would usually get like a scene with the characters right now, we're
Hmm.
watching, Johnny walk from point A to point B.
Right.
And
Right.
the whole movie is that, and
Hmm.
it commits so hard to showing you the other side of what would be going on here
Yeah.
versus what you would typically get in a Friday film. I think that's
Hmm.
why I've come to really appreciate the times where he's just walking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely get that. No doubt about it. It's an interesting film, no matter what, though. Seriously. So I give it its credit, and like I said, it's a fantastic concept. Um, Real quick too, in the chat, just to catch up with you guys for a second. Melissa's in the house. What's up, Melissa? Saying my mom's surgery went well yesterday. She has a leg removed from knee down from an infection. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, Melissa, I'm glad that you're here tonight, and I'm glad that everything went well in general for your mom. I know you were really concerned about that, as you should be. We were too. So thank you so much for being here, and much love and prayers to your mom.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's awful.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, let's see, who else do we have in here? Yeah, and you guys are awesome. Definitely sending some love and positive thoughts to Melissa. We appreciate that as well. Definitely have to always support each other as we go through so many different things. So many different things. Um, Polar's wondering, is the trailer safe to watch for Black Phone 2? I think it's safe to watch. I can almost, in my mind anyways, and I could be wrong, but in my mind I think there's going to be so much more that we haven't even seen.
I I want to say something, but I don't know if it's a spoiler. All I'll say is there's something that people are complaining that may or may not be a spoiler in the trailer, but I don't think it is because I think
Mm.
we're playing with the whole logic of Dream Demon rules. Like I don't think it's the same thing as Freddy, where it's like you just. I'm gonna shut up. That's all I'm gonna say. There's something in the
Yeah.
trailer, but avoid it if you want. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you want to be super, super careful, then definitely avoid trailers. I mean, I think for us, not that we have to watch them, but we're just in that space all the time. So, but I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was bad, at least for me as a fan. Um, and real quick too, Oliver stepping in, gifting a membership. Thank you so much, Oliver. We appreciate that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Wow. Thank you, man. Seriously, that really helps us out and allows us to do streams like this. All right. And for everyone else here, Rachel, she's like, I'm not a huge gamer. I don't have the patience, LOL, but I think I'll check out the Halloween game. Right? I know. Yeah, I'm really excited to check it out. I really am.
I'm hyped for the single
Waffles.
player mode too. Just gonna say that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna be like geeking out. Seriously. Waffles, good to see you, bro. Gory Tiger, Nightmare Files, Killjoy brought me here. There you go. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Um, so Paula is so funny. She's like, just watch the trailer. Ah, yes. There you go. That's awesome. Oh my god. All right. So let's keep moving forward. Now some other movies too. I agree with you about Shelby Oaks, by the way. Definitely excited about that. Good Boy.
Oh
Good
yeah.
Boy. I mean, come on, man. If that isn't going to be a cool concept, I don't know what will be. I mean, I'm really excited to see that. Um I'm definitely excited for that. I know you are too. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, this one kind of came out of nowhere.
It
I feel
did.
like we were all just kind of talking like, there's always a weird like October fall horror movie that's an original that comes out and we're all like, "Oh man, what's this all about?" But this one's
Yeah.
going viral. I mean, like
Yeah.
everyone's talking about Good Boy. But it's a recipe for success. How can you get better than having a protagonist that's a freaking dog? I mean,
Yeah.
you can't win me over more with a with a character than that. Come on now.
You can't.
I think it's just a really interesting concept too, because it's literally the director's dog. Like it is like not a trained animal or anything like that. He brought his dog to set, and they're like, we're gonna film the dog doing a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna make the movie out of that. You also
Yeah.
have Larry Fessenden playing the owner, who like
Yeah.
indie horror staple, like made
Yep.
so many classics that people might not even know, which is
Mhm.
really cool. That is really cool to see him in there. I don't know, man. I feel like this is going to be one of those sleeper flicks that ends up in a lot of top tens. I feel like it could be really good. I'm really excited for it. Really, just original concept too. I'm
Yeah.
always down for movies like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, same thing here. I echo all of that, and it's really a continuation of some fantastic stuff we've had this year, and even within the last couple of years, actually. Of just some movies that they're coming out of left field, or they're just so fresh and just grab your attention with a concept or its execution or what have you. So I'm all for it as well, and I think that it's important for the genre. I think it's important also for us as horror fans to get that variety. I know a lot of people, they might have certain types of films that they like, even within horror. I love slashers, that's my favorite subgenre. But, I love so many other types of horror as well. And I think it's cool to see all this stuff. The other trailer I saw in the theater was for The Strangers Chapter 2. And, you know, and we touched upon it a little bit on your channel. That first one, it wasn't horrible, but it just didn't do anything different enough. You know, it had that flavor and the shades of the original and Pray at Night. And I was really hoping that they would try to kind of stretch out a little bit more. I ragged on that, quite a bit for chapter 1, but for chapter 2, at least it seems like we're going to be going into some uncharted territory for the franchise. And I am excited about that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be straight up. I think chapter 1 was pretty horrible. I was, man, that's like bottom of the barrel of movies I've covered on the page so far, and it really bums me out because, dude, like Pray at Night is a ton of fun, but that original Strangers I just think is one of the better home invasion flicks out there. Like I don't know if it gets much better than that. And like I remember seeing Pray at Night and being like, this is so different, but it still works. It still keeps that mystique of the characters, which like. My thing about the Strangers is like they're literally just like they're just regular people in spirit Halloween masks. You know what I mean? There's nothing like about the design that's super catching, like, like Michael Myers or Ghostface. It's literally people who went to Spirit Halloween, bought some masks, and they're like, we're gonna kill people now. That is all it's supposed to be. And what do these new, creatives decide to do? They're like, oh, we're gonna treat them like they are a Michael Myers, like they are a Ghostface, a Freddy Krueger, and give them this crazy backstory. I don't care. The one cool thing about the Strangers is that we don't know who they are or why they're doing this. That's like that's the most famous part of the original flick is when they're asked what why they're doing it, because you were home. We felt like it is what that means. That to me is what's so scary. It's like this could happen to anyone at any time for literally no reason. You could just be walking about and they just decide to pick your place to come into. So I agree. I think chapter 2 is going to be better because I don't know how you can't go worse than rock bottom. but I feel like basing an entire trilogy around explaining who these characters are is just like a fundamental misunderstanding of why the Strangers work.
Yeah, I agree so much. I really, really do. Let's also see who else we got going on here. Lighting Ghost is tripping me out. Oh man. We also have I saw Jado. What's up? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. Welcome. If you guys have not hit the like button, make sure you do. Mayan is checking on everybody, and I appreciate that. We also Man will get you. She'll like go through the screen and be like, "Did you hit that like button? Damn it!" I'm telling you. Let's see. Who else do we have? Ronan's given us his recipe. Sour cream. What? Oh gosh, you guys trip me out. Let's see. Who else? Who else? I'm like way behind. And Rachel's gifting memberships. Rachel, thank you so much. Gifting 5 memberships. Rachel, seriously, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Definitely helps us out. Seriously, very kind of you. I don't see who got it, but whoever did, welcome. Welcome. We appreciate you. All right. So let's get into some of the good stuff here that is very recent. We're gonna keep this pretty non-spoilery, but we got a chance to check out the new Conjuring film, and we've got someone in the chat. I saw this comment by Life of Fawn saying, "I cried like a little baby at the new Conjuring." Well, you know what, my friend? I started to get teary-eyed too, man. I did too. Jake, what were your thoughts about The Conjuring?
Dude, I went into this movie with like no expectations.
Hmm.
I really just was not crazy about the last few flicks in this universe. I
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, I'm a Conjuring fan. I actually do really love a lot of these flicks. I think Conjuring 1 and 2, maybe even some of the Annabelle flicks, I think are awesome. Like I thought they were a
Yeah,
ton of fun. But lately I just feel like they've really dropped the ball. Like Conjuring 3, The Nun 2,
yeah,
just movies that just really missed with me. I don't know. I just was not really crazy about them. Kind of a bit of a snooze fest.
yeah.
But then we get into this, and it's from the same director as those aforementioned flicks. And I
Yep.
just, again, going into this with, Strangers Chapter 1 expectations, basically.
Yeah.
And I honestly, from the opening scene, I'm with Life of Fonz here. I feel like I was teary eyed a little bit. I can't believe it
Yeah.
really captured some different kinds of emotions than those other flicks. Like I really
Hmm.
realized how much I love the fictional Ed and Lorraine Warren here.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. They kill it in this one. I really, it goes back to just a good old fashioned haunted house story. You got like a different kind of entity hanging out this time too. Haunted
Hmm.
mirrors. I still think Oculus is the best haunted mirror movie, but
Yes. Yes.
I do like this one. Conjuring, it's a solid entry. I wouldn't say that this is like the best by any means, but I'm glad that they kind of, ended with quotation
Mhm.
marks everywhere, ended this universe on a good note. So I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, man. We went into this. This was the second film we saw. We saw Long Walk first, so we'll get to that in a minute, though. But so we go into The Conjuring. I'm a huge Conjuring fan. I feel as though that original film did so much for horror. I think it really upped everything as far as just the respect factor, the type of talent you get involved in front of the camera and so forth. And Vera and Patrick are just they can do no wrong, in my opinion, especially in these characters. I love both of them so much, and the chemistry that they have is fantastic. It always is. Admittedly, though, and I agree with you, I think the third film had missteps. It's kind of like, well, are we a courtroom drama, or are we gonna do a haunting with a demon? What are we doing here? You can't. You're not having it both ways. There's not enough balance with it. So I think there was a misstep. Although I think Vera and Patrick were great in it. The rest of the Conjuring universe sometimes can be hit or miss too. I agree with you on that. This one, man, you're right. It went back to the simple formula, and I thought it was so cool in the beginning. And I thought that there were some good moments, some good scare moments, some good moments with the family. I really loved the whole relationship that Ed and Lorraine had with their daughter, and just look, they're older. It's in the 80s. They're older. The franchise, of course, is older. It's over a dozen years older. um and it was like saying goodbye to an old friend. I know that sounds sappy, but when we got to the end, and I'm not going to spoil it, but when we got to the end and we saw a lot of familiar things, I'll just say that word, things, um, I really felt it. It got me in the feels. I was just like, wow, this, and I kind of separate the Conjuring movies from the universe a little bit.
I understand that.
Fair or not fair, but I was just thinking these four movies. It's been a nice ride, and it's cool that they can kind of quote unquote call it, when they want to call it, and it was a good entry. It's not the best. I still think you got to talk about one or two
Hmm.
to be the best, but I think it was better than three.
Oh yeah.
So I would definitely say it's better than three. But the emotion of it, I think, was fantastic. So both of us when we walked out, we were we were a little teary eyed, but we were happy.
Well, and I think that to me is one of the biggest things that impressed me about this one is like right off the rip, like from the opening scene, it tells you this is going to be something different. And
Yeah.
I think just going back to the other Conjuring flicks, like usually the opening is something kind of spooky or scary. You know what I mean? This is
Hmm.
going for something else entirely. This is like it's showing you something from Ed and Lorraine's past and sets up the story, yes, but it's more about like the emotional side of it, which I
Yeah.
thought was just really fresh and unexpected. So for me to start off with that and to kind of blast you with those emotions, just get you on board with these characters, like again, immediately, it's like that was the way to go about this to make it
Yeah.
feel fresh again. There's also, I don't know, there's some really nice surprises throughout the plot that I really liked. There's some, I'll hand the movie this. It gives a pretty emotional character death that I wasn't really 100% expecting. Which is
Yeah.
another, that's something I don't see a lot of people talking about, and I'm like, that's kind of a big deal. I mean, it's not like the biggest talking point or anything, but again,
Yeah.
I won't spoil anything. But there's a big death in there, which is cool. It's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
wow.
you know, when that scene was coming to fruition, I looked over to Coriander. I was like, no, 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 right? No. And she just looked at me like, and you're watching things play out the way they do, and it's just like, you have got to be joking me. Are you serious? So yeah, it definitely got the emotions going. I think it was really well done. And at least for Patrick and Vera, if it is, the final one, it's a good way to go out. I mean, the money's made a bunch of dough, though. I mean, this is breaking those records, bro. It's like, wow.
Well, and you know what's really funny is in my review, I remember saying, I'm like, oh, well, don't miss Patrick Wilson too much. I'm sure he's going to be in Insidious 6. He's not going to be in Insidious 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I thought like, okay, he's done with The Conjuring. We just revitalized. Well, so like he starred in and directed the last Insidious flick. So
Yep.
that to me says, okay, we're kicking off a whole new story with the Lamberts, right?
Mhm.
No, Insidious 6 is going to be like a whole new story with Elise. It's another prequel, kind of like how they did with
Mm.
like 3 and 4. So
Yeah.
like, and that's kind of like the other big, you know what I mean, like ghost story, and it also has Patrick Wilson in it in most of those films. But no, yeah, this new one, it's not gonna be with him. So actually, I'm even more sad about Conjuring 4.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it also makes me, and this will be probably the last thing I say on it. It also, um, again, it's an emotional thing in a way too. But I'm glad that those of us that are fans of it were there watching it. I remember the first time I saw The Conjuring in the theater, and I was just like, whoa. It was just right. Yes. I mean, just great moments like that, and each sequel, and obviously the universe, and it's like, man, this is some really cool stuff for horror. It gave it an injection, so to speak. So, anyways, for any of you guys that might be wondering if you should check it out, definitely you should check it out. I think it was a good time, especially if you're a fan of The Conjuring or of Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. I mean, I think they rock. They rock
Oh
so
yeah.
much. And horror was really lucky to have them be a part of horror for so long. I mean, over a dozen years. And like you said, Patrick was in Insidious. That was a couple years before The Conjuring.
Well, and something else I wanted to ask you is that they've already announced that they're doing like another prequel in
Hmm.
the Conjuring universe. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because we did. This isn't a spoiler by any means because it is in the trailer. We did follow a young Ed and Lorraine Warren
Hmm.
throughout this flick. Do you think it could be going and like showing us a story with them? Like it's not Patrick and Vera anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm open to it, because if it has that same aesthetic and it's executed well, and we can try to have that level of emotion, I'd be fine with it. And those young actors, if they were to use them again, I'd be okay with that. I thought they were good in what we saw. I was even saying, man, holy crap, they really do remind me of a really young Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Casting was great. Oh
the,
man.
the casting was great, and if they can have some really good chemistry and they can tell some really good stories and stuff, I think that yeah, it could be fun. I'm open to it. I really am. I really am. And that scene, or I should say those scenes or whatever, solidify that for me. Because at first, I was kind of like, I could take it or leave it. But when I saw the scenes, I was like, oh, we're all right. There's something there. So
I
oh,
Yeah, I could go on and on about it. I did feel like they were trying to set up like a chapter 2 of the universe with the daughter and her new
yeah,
boyfriend, fiance, married.
yeah, 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 yeah,
We
yeah,
speed run that whole thing there. So I don't
yeah.
know. I thought that could be. I thought that could be like a direction, but I'm kind of like just let it die. Like let's move on.
Yeah, yeah. Although I will say, um, the daughter, and I forgot the actress's name. I was talking about it just the other day. But anyways, I thought she was good.
She was. No, she kicked ass. It's
Yeah,
nothing. That's not a testament to their performances at all.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I really feel like this is a series that is made by the characters, like Patrick
yeah,
Wilson and Vera Farmiga. That's like to me the biggest thing. Like you were
yeah.
saying earlier, like the Conjuring movies, they're just separate from the universe flicks, and I
Hmm.
totally feel that. And it's because what's the difference? It's them. It's these two
Yes,
characters.
yeah. They're so strong. Like, even scenes where, and I'm not trying to sound like sappy or like a cliche, but even those scenes where Lorraine is getting the vibes, and I love what they do with the camera. Obviously, they've copied off of James Wan a lot, and why not? I mean, it's James Wan. I mean, we could
Yeah.
all be so lucky to have half of his talent. Well, I'm talking about me. But anyways, when Vera gets the vibes and she does that pan, and it's just something about Vera that just makes you believe this shit, and it kind of gets my hairs to stand up a little bit. And so there, and Patrick, when he's, bro, look, no one's read from the Bible with that much flair and charisma since like Max von Sydow and The Exorcist or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when Patrick gets into it, it's like it's cool. It's like really really cool, and you believe it. So they are the hidden sauce, the secret sauce, so to speak,
Big
and they
time.
know it. They know it because originally they were talking about concepts for this film, and they were talking about maybe having all the entities, kind of them dealing with multiple entities that we've seen, kind of almost like this Avengers Endgame type of vibe. And cooler heads prevailed because they were like, no, let's just do a story. The secret sauce is Ed and Lorraine, Vera and Patrick. Let's center it around them and let's do the right thing, you know?
Well, and like not again, not to get too deep into this, but there is, and I'm not even kidding. There is a single scene of this entire movie that they should have just taken out entirely. Like, and I wouldn't have batted an eye at it. And it's the Annabelle scene is what I'm gonna
Yeah, I
say.
knew you were
And
gonna
it's just
yeah.
like, dude, why was that left in the final film?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
rolled my eyes so hard at that. I'm like, this is so forced. I have my criticisms of the new one, but again,
Yeah.
it's leagues better than The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. No doubt at all. All right. Well, you know what else is better than The Devil Made Me Do It? Polar saying that Annabelle Creation still scares me. I don't know why that movie gets me so much. Creation was pretty good. Much better than the first, no doubt. For me,
That's up
anyways.
there. That one's way up there for me. I really like that one.
Yeah, yeah. We got Jacob in the house. Hey, what's up, guys? I hope by the end of October that Scream 7 trailer for the movie, if it ever comes out soon. Um, I don't know if maybe end of October. I mean, I was thinking more like November. What are you thinking, Jake?
everyone has a different day, so it could come out any
True.
day, really.
It could be tomorrow.
I had like, I'm not even kidding, maybe 10, 15 people messaged me last night. They're like, dude, the Scream 7 trailer's coming out today.
Yeah, yeah.
I see nothing, so I don't know.
Yeah. If I was to guess though, I think by November.
Yeah.
Mid-November, I think, if I was to take a stab.
Well, dude,
Pun
Running
intended.
Man, Running Man's coming out on the 14th. I think we 100% see it before then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting though that it'll be with the Running Man. I mean, look, I'm gonna watch it. The trailer was, I mean, look, I'm a fan of the original. Okay, I'm gonna sound like an old guy here, and obviously they're trying to stick to the actual story, which Arnold's film didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair. But I just said the magic ingredient, and that was Arnold. You know what I mean? Like Arnold, it just brings that aesthetic, and it was just such a over the top campy film. The 80s, you're talking about 1987 for that Arnold film. So it just has that type of charm, that time capsule type of charm. So we'll see what this one does. I mean, I'm curious if nothing else.
Well, dude, I'll also say it's Edgar Wright directing, which gives me a lot of faith.
It's
I do
true.
like him quite a bit. But I agree. I don't know if I was blown away by the trailer or not. Like if there wasn't a lot of like rumors that the Scream 7 trailer was before it, I'd be like, maybe I'll wait till it comes out on streaming.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, Ronan, I'm the greatest of all time. Horror is very lucky to have you, champ. Thank you, thank you so much,
dude.
man. Oh, you guys are crazy. Thank you. All right, well, let's get into The Long Walk, man. This is a film I had never read the story, and I told you this last week. Years ago, my brother was telling me, bro, you got to read this story, The Long Walk. Stephen King wrote it, and so forth and so forth. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I just never got a chance to. So I was in for the ride of my life. Let's start with you, man. Opening thoughts, obviously trying to stay non-spoilery because it just came out. But what were your thoughts on The Long Walk?
Well, what's interesting about this movie, dude, is that they've been trying to make it into a feature film adaptation like since forever. Frank Darabont, who did some of the best Stephen King adaptations, wanted to tackle this one. And if you don't know, I mean, he's responsible for Shawshank, Green Mile, and The Mist, which like those are easy top 3. Like that's an easy top 10 Stephen King adaptations, like in my humble opinion. Then like for him to do this, that would have been so awesome. But like tons of different creatives were trying to make this one happen, and finally we got one from JT Molnar, who's like this unsung hero of modern horror, like just truly not getting enough love for some of the things he's doing, like Strange Darling from last year. Such a underrated, not talked about movie. Easy top 10 from 2024 horror. I'm gonna say you're gonna hear that a lot. I'm so sorry. But then we also have Francis Lawrence directing, which is like the perfect choice for a director. He's done like pretty much every Hunger Games film except the original. So like this was just a recipe for success, because The Long Walk is a story that like it's basically what the Hunger Games essentially like that's where you wouldn't have the Hunger Games without the Long Walk story from Mr. King. So like it was just match made in heaven with everybody creatively attached to this project. But then you also get Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson in the lead roles. I mean, chef's kiss. This was a recipe for success from the moment that it went to production. I also think I'm sorry, I'm swear I'm getting to the analysis, but there's so many behind the scenes stuff that's so cool.
It is.
James Vanderbilt, who just wrote the last 2 Scream movies, also tried to make this happen but couldn't. We're done getting into the film itself. I listen, just like The Conjuring, I was crying 7 seconds into this one. This is a weep. This is a weep fest tonight.
It is, man. We're getting in touch with our feelings.
This one, dude, this one is like such a bummer every scene with Judy Greer in this movie made me bawl like a little baby. I just tears streaming down my face. Just, oh my God, heartbreak. And that's the one word I think that describes this one. I don't even know if it's like necessarily like terrifying, but it's just cynical, pessimistic, and heartbreaking is what it is.
Yep. Yeah. I totally concur. And May, thank you for thank you so much for staying on track with everyone saying, by the way, hit that like button. She's ready to maybe kill somebody on the kill zone tonight, man. Wow. Um, it was so emotional, bro. Like I'm watching it. You're right. Judy Greer, fantastic. Cooper Hoffman, the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman. By the way, for those in the chat, if you do not know who that is, and I know some of you do not, you need to learn. Okay. Late great Philip Seymour Hoffman, fantastic actor. And here's his son, who I think had a really, really great performance. I mean, I was keyed in with him right from the get go. David Johnson, again, we talked a little bit about it on your channel. Um, Fantastic. Just like he's been in everything he's done. Shout out to Alien Romulus, and I know there's some people that say it's just a remix of all the greatest hits of the Alien franchise, and hey, whatever, everyone's got their opinion. But one thing you can't deny is David Johnson was so good in that movie. Kaylee Spaney was great too. But this film, there was a scene, I won't, and we're not getting into spoilers. I kid you not, and I'm sitting in between my youngest and Coriander, right? And I'm sitting there, and we get to that one scene. I think you probably know the scene I'm talking about, man. If we maybe after we're done the live, I kid you not, guys, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I was crying. I was crying. And the amazing thing about it is that the story, surface wise, is very, very simple. You know, you're on this long walk, and you got to do it. If you can't do it, there are consequences, really bad consequences. If you've seen the trailer, you already know. But I would have never guessed that we would have had that much character development, all of these arcs, and these things going on in such a simple story. I would have never guessed that. And I'm so glad I saw it. And I kid you not, man. I said it. I looked right over to Coriander. I said, and you know this, Jake. I loved Sinners. I absolutely love Weapons. I looked at Coriander. I said, this could be my number one of the year, man.
It messed up. It's messed up my board.
Right?
It kind of made me rethink everything, because I'm just like, this was so good, and it's so good for reasons that a lot of movies this year like weren't. Like, it stands out from a lot of other stuff that's come out, because I almost feel like Weapons has like this comedic undertone to a lot of it, even though it does deal with something that is really tragic and serious. But it is still pretty goofy and a really silly movie all in all. This was just I mean, this was bleak. This was tough to watch the whole time, and really just surprising, despite the fact that it was such a simple concept. I mean, like, that pretty much everyone's gonna die except one person. I mean, going into this, that's what this is, and then even then, it's still able to kind of shock and surprise you with just the way it all shakes out. You know what I mean? This is one that is absolutely about the journey rather than the destination, but the destination is still shocking, and I don't want to talk about that at all. But man, this was, to me, I walked out of the theater, and I don't think I've ever been so sure that this was a top 10 Stephen King adaptation for like any Stephen King property I've covered so far on the page. But man, this was so good. I mean, just a mind-blowing little thriller.
It was, man. I literally wanted to watch it again that day. We saw it early in the day. I was like, oh man, and we had stuff going on. I was like, man, I would watch this again later on. And Coriander was like, I would too. I'm like, right? Who knows? I might see it this weekend again, bro, because it was just that type of movie. It was so emotional, and it just touches you. And it the other thing too, and again, I'm not getting into spoilers, but it just makes you look at life in a certain way as well. And I was just thinking, like, wow, just wow. So anyways, I'm staying away from spoilers, but guys, if you were on the fence about this film, or if you've heard about the hype or the Rotten Tomatoes score, and a lot of people are saying it's great, obviously we're saying it too. Trust us on this one. Take the chance. Please, 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 please support a movie like this. with superb acting. Um, and God, man, Stephen King, he's the gift that just keeps on giving, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, dude, like him and Joe Hill are having some of their stories just get some terrific sort of adaptations this year, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
just both some big hitters, I think, for movies that are. I think Black Phone 2 is going to be in my top 10 by the time we get to the end of the year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
would just be so cool if stories from both of them were all the way up there for 2025. But big point with that is just 2025 horror has been unbelievable. I just
Yeah.
saw somebody, May Ann, saying, like, I have all these movies fighting for my top spot: Weapons, Together, Sinners, and Long Walk. And like,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't even know what I'd put at number one. I mean, there's been so
Right.
many movies that have been mind blowing this year.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I mean, like you just said, Weapons, Sinners. I mean, it's just been a great year for horror. It really has. And we still got Black Phone 2. We still got some of these other films we talked about for the fall. And we got some hopefuls, like Strangers Chapter 2. We'll see. It could happen. Who knows?
Come on,
Who
baby.
knows? Who knows? Um, but anyways, guys, definitely check it out. It was definitely worth it. And these are the types of films that we really should support. I think, these are the films we really want to support. Man, you're absolutely right. David Johnson is amazing. I want to see him in more horror movies. I just want to see him do everything.
Yeah.
I want to see him do everything. He's the type of actor, and he's very humble. Everything that I've seen and read about him seems like he's that type of guy. What range too? He's like shown a lot of great range, which is very cool to see in a young actor. He was mesmerizing. He was mesmerizing, and there were so many moments in this film again, and I'm staying away from all these spoilers, but just all of these, like, it was just a roller coaster of emotions and all these different things that are going on with all these characters, colliding with each other and running parallel with each other. And I was just like, man, I didn't think it was going to be like that. And like I said, I had more than one time that I cried, but there was definitely one that just, bro, I was like, man, I wish I had some tissues. That's how bad it was. It was horrible. So anyways, Long Walk was great.
This is not an easy movie to do either. I mean, 95% of it is people walking down a straight road. Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, this is not an easy movie to make interesting the entire time. And I mean, I was
Yeah.
locked in on the edge of my seat from
Yes.
start to finish.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were able to accomplish that, I just, that alone is so impressive to me. But then it still finds ways to, maybe try some different things out that you weren't expecting. And I'm just like, this is unbelievable. And I gotta say, yeah, David Johnson, the standout amongst a lot of fantastic performers.
Yeah. What a career. I'm just going to be watching him, keeping my fingers crossed. He deserves all the opportunities. Rachel saying, I'm so behind on horror this year. I still have yet to see Weapons. Rachel, you have got to see Weapons. I'm telling you, trust me. And I know Jake does the same thing. If we're behind a movie, you could definitely take it to the bank. It's worth your time at least to check it out. Weapons was fantastic. It really was, no doubt about it. We got Barb in the house. What is up? Saying, guys, so good to see you both in one stream. I'm leaving the office here in a bit, but had to stop and say hello. Barb, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Very cool to have you here. Well, listen, this is what we're going to do next, Jake. And I'm not even told Jake what we're going to do. I said, hey, we're just going to, see if we have any time. We've been talking about The Long Walk. And funny enough, we also talked about The Running Man, which was not part of my plan per se, but it just proves a point. Like I said earlier, Stephen King is the gift that keeps on giving. So let's do this, Jake. Let's list our favorite Stephen King films, okay? And how about we go, I don't know, maybe think about 5 of them, 5 each, okay? Now,
Okay.
I know you're on the spot, so definitely you can take your time or whatever, and if you need more time, let me know, because he was not ready for this, but I was like, you know what? We got to do this. I just want to see what he comes up with. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna keep track of this. I'll bring up my little notepad, and we'll keep track of what we put down. I'll start off first, and I'm sure there are gonna be some movies that we might have that are the same. I'll try to kind of think on the outside a little bit. The first movie that I want to put on this list, and people that know me, they know I absolutely love this film. I'm gonna start with The Shining.
You
Okay.
gotta have that on there. I mean, come on now.
Right? You kind of do. You
Yeah.
kind of do. If The Shining isn't on the list, then what kind of a list is it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, come on now.
All
And
right.
Knight, I also have to say, which is so funny, I swear to God, I'm working on a top 10 Stephen King movies list right now, which is so like just so unbelievably funny. I'm
That's awesome.
Would you hate me if I pulled it up?
You can one man.
I'm pull. You know what? I got a cheat sheet like ready to go, and I'm like, just so you know, I'm not cheating here. Like I'm not making this, cheating with some notes on my phone. I have this ready to go that I've been like, okay, this is my top 10. Okay,
That's
all
too
right,
funny.
I'm ready. Let's go,
All
baby.
right. Too funny. And for you guys in the chat, definitely let us know your thoughts too. Some of your favorite Stephen King films. We're just gonna list a couple, and that'll be half of what we're gonna do, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so Jake, so we'll do it one by one, just for the fun of it, to tease this out. What would be a film that you'd want to put on this list from Stephen King?
Well, we put a really popular one, so I'm going to kind of get into an underrated one that I think is just like an easy top 10, but doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion. 1408.
Ooh.
I love 1408. I think it is like an honest to God, I think it's borderline masterpiece material. I think it's
Yeah.
terrifying. I think it's one of his best ghost stories that kind of captures that same energy of The Shining in a lot of ways. I love this film to death, and it does not get enough love.
That's true, man. And and I haven't seen it in a while. But I've seen it enough times, and you're right. It is really, really good. That's a good call, man. All right.
I came prepared, man.
You did. You did. All right. Now for me, and again, this is a tough list to do because I think we're only going to do five apiece. We'll see. But this is a tough list because I have so many favorites from Stephen King. I've loved them since I was a kid, and just so many movies, so many moments, and so forth. But I think the next one that I want to put on the list, and it's because of just, well, I'll explain it afterwards, but I'm going to go with The Mist.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with The Mist. Literally just totally messed up my world when I first saw it. My brother, he actually told me, he's like, man, you got to see that movie, The Mist. I'm like, is it good? And not that I didn't think it would be, but he was like, just check it out. And when you're done, call me. When I called him, I was like, are you freaking serious? And we talked on the phone for like an hour and a half about the
Yeah.
film. It's such it's such a movie, and that ending is just like one of the hugest gut punches of all time. It
Well, dude,
truly is.
it's funny because my dad got me into reading Stephen King when I was real young. And when this
Mhm,
movie came out, I think I was like maybe 9 or 10 years old.
mhm, mhm.
And he's like, he had read The Mist before, and in the book it ends happy, kind of. They get away. They essentially drive, off into the mist looking for help in the army and whatnot.
Mhm.
And my dad's like, "Oh, I'll take my young son to this. He can handle that." And
Mhm.
and the way that Frank Darabont butchered that ending, not but in a good way. Like I think
Yeah,
it's one of the greatest awful endings to a horror movie ever.
yeah.
I just think it's that it makes the top 10 list for being for changing King and in my humble opinion doing it better.
Yeah, yeah, and I believe Stephen King even said that he was really happy with that change. And then if anyone knows Stephen King, it's like he's very particular about his adaptations. I mean, obviously, most famously with The Shining and what Stanley Kubrick did, but that's another story. So no, he was very impressed with how the ending went. So that's a big thing. But it's a fantastic film. It really, really is, man. Okay. What is the next one you want to throw on this list?
Okay, well, I threw out a weird one, so I think I got to put like a good one on like a famous one, let's say that. I'm from Ohio, so Shawshank Redemption. You know, you got, I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
that's another one of those, like, I don't know if I could take you seriously if it's not on the list. Like, that's
Yeah.
just it's one of those perfect movies. I think it's excellent, and filmed here at what's it called, Mansfield Prison. So
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those films that, I mean, it's basically a perfect film. You know, every time I see it, it's like it's another one of those movies that just it makes you feel so many different things, so many great character moments. It's just a great story. It truly is. I mean, I I I watch it. I usually watch it at least once a year. It's one of
yeah,
those types of films, you know? So, good call, man. Good call. Okay. The next one I'm going to put on the list. This this is one of my favorite Stephen King movies. This is one of my favorite horror movies, and especially in my house, you will see I think we've got at least two posters of this. It's a classic. It creeped me out as a little kid so badly. I'm going with Carrie. Got to go
hell
with
yeah,
Carrie.
yeah. You gotta have
Um,
that in there.
dude, I mean, look, they're all gonna laugh at you. I mean, to this day, to this day, there are moments in that film that still legit creep me out. They really do. I'll never forget first seeing it as a kid. It was a Sunday afternoon when they were playing horror movies on TV. I'm in the living room, my dad's sitting on the couch, chilling. When they got to that ending with the jump scare, I freaked. I went upstairs to my room. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I was like, I don't know, 7, whatever it was. And great film, classic film, in my opinion. So got to go with Carrie.
That's an easy top 10. I love that movie. It's iconic. I don't think any of the sequels, remakes, whatever, have even come close to topping the original either.
No.
I don't know. So many people love the 2013 one, and I'm like, it pales in comparison to the 76 flick. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
agree. I agree. I think it pales as well. The thing about the original, and it's something that it's so hard to recreate or to touch, is like the charm of that time, you know,
Yeah.
whether you're talking about the 60s, like for Psycho, or the 70s, you know, like for TCM, you know, and also for Carrie, the 80s for something like Friday the 13th, the 90s for Scream. You know, these are time capsule moments that these films are able to inject into their DNA. And so when you do a remake, or if you have a lot of sequels and it goes, you know, years and years and maybe even decades, it's hard to recreate that because that's not what you're part of anymore, you know, and that moment has passed, that time has passed. So I totally agree with you. It's just it's special, and the other films and the other sequels and the remake just don't touch it. They just don't.
Yeah, yeah, and,
They
and
don't.
we wouldn't even have any of these other stories without Carrie too. I mean, this is the first like big, King story to blow up. So I think
Yep.
it's a landmark. It's a landmark film.
I agree. I agree. All right. So, what's the next one that you want to put on this list?
I think that Doctor Sleep may be just as good as The Shining.
Ooh, there you go, buddy.
Listen, I think there are truly there's a lot of directors who have done King so well, but if there's two people who are just consistently fantastic with their adaptations, it's Frank Darabont and it's Mike Flanagan.
Yep.
All day, dude. Doctor Sleep, and this was a bomb at the box office, which
Yep.
bums me out, but it's so good. I
Yeah,
love
it
Doctor
is.
Sleep, man. I don't know, banger of
too.
a movie.
Me too. And I saw in the chat, Rachel was like, yes. And I know Rachel's a huge fan of Dr. Sleep. Well, hopefully we get a chance to talk about that at some point too, Rachel. Um, it's fantastic. Rebecca Ferguson was beyond enchanting. You know,
Dude,
Rose the Hat as a character.
oh my god! I mean, one of the best Stephen King horror villains. I don't care. I'll die on that hill. That
Yep.
performance is creepy as hell. Just absolutely fantastic.
Agreed. No doubt about it. It's a great film. I've seen it so many times. Saw it in the theater and I was just he had so much heat. Let me put us on here. I gotta get personal here. He had so much that he had to do. Sorry, I took you off. Don't worry about it. I'm going to put you back on. StreamYard is like, we don't want Jake on here anymore. He had so much that he had to do with balancing, the Kubrick fans, the Shining fans, the Doctor Sleep book. I mean, and he was able to do it.
Yeah.
He was able to do it. Ewan McGregor was great. I mean, that film is severely underrated. Severely.
Well, dude, and it's really tough, in my opinion, to make all that work, and somehow they did. I think a lot of people criticize the fact that some of the recreation of stuff from The Shining didn't look like spot on perfect, but it's damn near there. I don't know. Like I'm like, if that's your problem with this and you can't appreciate how they were able to adapt that sequel novel, which is a sequel to, King's Story, which is so different to what Kubrick did, and then still being able to find a way to incorporate the movie elements into that story that Flanagan was able to do. I mean, it's genius. That's exactly what it is.
I agree, man. I agree. It was, like I said, it was a hell of a job. It was a hell of a job, and I loved it. Okay, let me catch up to the chat a little bit. Scott, what's up, man? Saying Ewan McGregor looked like Obi-Wan on a on a bender.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's kind of true. All right, let's. I literally read that out loud. That was great. Now Ronan is saying I don't know, brother. The Shining is far better than Doctor Sleep. Ooh.
I don't think I like Doctor Sleep better than The Shining, but I think it's close. I think it's a close race. That's what I'll say. The Shining, I mean, it's just that's a classic. The Shining's a classic, but Doctor Sleep I think is still very impressive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think that Doctor Sleep, it was just so damn good. It really, really was, man. No doubt about it. Let's see. Who else do we have in here? Rachel Rose the Hat is one of my main horror villain crushes. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, she was phenomenal as a character. I love Rebecca Ferguson anyways. I truly do. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to our next one. Okay, so that's me, and I've got to bring this back up too, and StreamYard is being a punk. I've got my layouts, and it's like going through like the other ones. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? It's like,
oh man,
it's like I've never seen it do that. It's like, what the hell is going on? I can't change it. For me on this list, so far, for anyone who might be working or driving, we've got The Shining, 1408, The Mist, Shawshank, Carrie, Doctor Sleep. For me, I'm going to add, and this is, another one of those films that I just love it so much. I loved it as a child, and it's always stuck with me. But I got to go with Pet Sematary.
Yeah,
I gotta go with Pet Sematary. It's just one of those films, and I just recently had I talked about the remake, which there's a different story of sorts, but I obviously watched the original. That film is still just so friggin' cool. It truly is. When I first saw it as a kid, watched it with my mom and my dad and my younger brother, and it gets you. Again, it's a story that you wouldn't necessarily think is scary, but it's haunting. Maybe that's a good word for it. It definitely has some creep factor. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I had to put it on the list.
It's one of my favorite King stories. I just think that's another one that I feel like captures all the elements of things I want to see from him. Like it's very dark, and it's a little more family oriented than something like The Long Walk, for example.
Yeah.
But I just I love that movie. It stuck with me my whole life, and I think when I was a kid, I saw a lot of movies that were had happy endings. You know what I mean? And then you get to something like Pet Sematary, where it's like it's this thing where it's almost like like you can like he's being warned the whole time, like don't do this, you know,
Yes.
don't go to this place and do these things. But
Yeah.
he's constantly thrown into situations where he has to, where he
Yeah.
has to keep you know, throwing bodies in there essentially, and it leads to what it does. And I think I think it's a brilliant story. I think it's just it shows how a man can just be crumbled by losing some of the biggest elements in his life. And I love it. I think it's a masterpiece. I don't hate the remake, I will say. I think
I
the
don't
original,
either.
I don't hate it by any means.
Yeah.
I think the original's way better.
Yeah.
But I respect the remake for once again doing different things. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I think the remake definitely has some nice stuff going on. I don't hate it, which I was pleasantly surprised that I didn't. But the original, again, there's charm there. There's certain moments that I think hit harder, especially, you know, when we know what happened with Gage in that original. That
Yeah.
no, dude, that still gets me. I mean, maybe I'm just too emotional, bro, but it still gets me, you know. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, the original is great. It
He's
is
just
great.
so sweet, and then what happens to him is so awful, and how evil he becomes. It's like, oh, this is so messed up. I mean, this is such a fucked up, twisted tale. I don't know. Pet
Yes.
Cemetery. It's my personal, like, in terms of concepts. I think it's my favorite Stephen King story in a lot of weird ways.
Yeah, yeah. No fair. No
No
fair.
fair. Oh fuck, man. Just think, I got to rewatch that. That's such a good movie.
It's a
Oh.
good one, bro. It really is. All right. So where are we going next? Do you have another one you want to put on the list?
Dude, the chat is just convincing me to put Silver Bullet on here. I don't care. Listen, I was going to go on a rant about like maybe It or The Dead Zone because I love those too, but you know
Yes.
what? You guys are right. Silver Bullet's so good. And
All right.
underrated. Silver Bullet does not get enough love.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, based off of literally the shortest novel, I guess novella from Mr.
Yeah.
King,
Yeah.
Cycle of the Werewolf too. I think it's like one of the better like werewolf movies. I'm gonna be honest, like it's way up there for me, and does not get enough. It doesn't get talked about enough. It has some great special effects, crazy blood and gore and kills too, which is awesome. And a Gary Busey performance where he's not like too over the top to where.
Yeah.
To where I can take him seriously. I love Silver Bullet. I think it's a great movie. I don't know.
I do too. It's so much fun, and the relationship that is being portrayed, you know, obviously with the kids and with Uncle Red. It's like that was again Stephen King relationships, you know, emotion, relationships, families, you know, the connections that people have with each other. He's so good at that. He truly is, you know, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. I really do. Silver Bullet is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Okay. Okay, next up on the list. Okay, so now we're getting it's getting kind of tough here because I want to go in a certain direction, but I don't think I will. All right, let me just say this. I want to put The Long Walk on here, but I'm not going to do it. And I don't know how you feel about it, Jake. I'm not going to do it because of the fact that many people in the audience may not have seen it yet. But I will tell you this. If it was not a new movie, I would put it on the list. I truly would. It's that good. But I won't. So my next pick, I'm gonna go with a film that I think it's a great story, great performances, characters that I mean scenes that still play out in my mind. I'm gonna go with, you guessed it, Misery.
Oh,
Kathy Bates.
nice.
I mean, come on, man. The hobbling scene, come on.
I mean, it's so simple but so effective. You know what I mean? I think that's what a lot King's best stories, I think, revolve around that. But also performances. Performances are the biggest things about this movie. Like I just love. Is it Kathy Bates? I always forget.
Kathy Bates and James Caan, man.
Their performance, like that back and forth between those two, just make this movie. I also just love that King has described this as like his horror story. You know, he's like, I've written things that are scary for other people. This is like the scariest situation for me personally. I thought that was such a cool kind of meta thing about that story. So I've always loved that.
Yeah, agreed, man. It's such a cool story in that game of chess that they have with each other, so many things that it's just a nuanced type of horror, but it's fantastic. It's still effective to this day. I just watched it a few weeks ago because I was just like, man, I haven't seen it in about a year, so let's just put it on, and we did, and we loved it. So Misery. All right, last spot. What do you think, man? What else do we put on this list from you?
Like I'm between so many things because I love the Dead Zone. I think that is just such a
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Dead Zone. I think I think like there's almost a part of me that's would want to say like something like It has to be on here,
yeah,
It
yeah, 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 yeah.
2017. But I'm kind of I just it's good. I love it. I'll put it on, and I think there's like things about it that totally make it a top 10. But there's just other movies that I think I like more. I don't know. Maybe that's a hot take. I'm Pennywised out a little bit. I'm just like,
Okay.
okay, we've had that shoved down our throats, Stephen King wise, for years now, and I'm just
Yeah.
maybe a little sick of the taste. But Dead Zone, man, I love this. This is one of those movies that starts off as one thing, and then when you get into the back half, it just turns into something else entirely. Like just goes
Yeah.
full on political thriller, like kind of out of nowhere.
Yep.
And I love stories like that. I love stories that go from one thing to just shift hard left into something else. And this is
Hmm.
like one of the best examples of that.
Yeah, man. Christopher Walken, absolutely fantastic in this movie. I mean, what did he say? What is that saying? He's like, the ice is gonna break. Like slaps. It's like I I love Christopher Walken so much. It's eerie too. It's got a very creepy and eerie vibe to it. And it's one of those films, and I remember when I saw it as a kid, it just hung in the air. It stuck with me for a while. And I think good horror does that because you think about it, you're still absorbing it even after the credits roll. This is one of those types of movies.
Oh
um
yeah.
yeah, it's a good one. Good
Oh yeah.
call.
It's one that like yeah just hasn't left my brain. I totally agree with that because
Yeah.
I think it's like here's this guy who's gotten this like his life was ruined but he got this like life-changing power and here's what he chooses to do with it is essentially what it boils down to in a lot of ways. And I think that's just that's a story concept just in general that's always fascinated me.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken gives a great performance and David Cronenberg doing Stephen King, that's weird. I'm into it.
Yes. Yes, a great point too. I had forgotten to even mention that. David Cronenberg, man. I mean, it's like you're talking about like just two amazing minds coming together, and it's just like, wow. It's just like John Carpenter doing Christine, which by the way is an honorable mention for me. I have a lot of love for Christine, and obviously I'm a huge John Carpenter fan. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about Stephen King. Like these adaptations have brought together so many great filmmakers. And I
Yeah.
think that's a testament to his stories as well.
Oh yeah, dude, without a doubt. I mean, pretty much every big horror master of horror director has done a Stephen King at some point, and
Hell yeah.
most of them are pretty damn good, dude. I mean,
Yep.
like even Romero did. Oh, what's that one called?
Creep
I always
Show.
forget. Yeah, well, yeah, Creepshow. I forgot about that, but doesn't he
Yeah.
do the Dark Half? He also did the
The
Dark
Dark
Half.
Half.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is
You're
that's pretty
right.
good too, man. I like the Dark Half a
Yeah.
lot.
Man, I haven't seen that one in a long time. You're right. Holy shit, I got to catch up too. All right. So for you guys, definitely let us know what you think about this list. If you're working or driving, I'll read this out to you. We've got, and this is an interesting list, by the way. I thought it would be. We've got The Shining, 1408, The Mist, Shawshank, Carrie, Doctor Sleep, Pet Cemetery, the original, Silver Bullet, Misery, and The Dead Zone. So this is what we're going to do, Jake. We're going to try to do this pretty quick. You guys in the chat, you probably have an idea what we're going to do. Let's eliminate these one by one until there's one left.
Oh
One movie standing. Okay.
yeah.
Now, who knows if we get to the end of it, we'll see. It could be too tough of a task. All right. So this is how we'll do it. We'll have you nominate a film to be eliminated, and I will as well. If we both agree on it, then it's up on the chopping block. You guys in the audience, you can let us know what you think too. If anyone wants to save it, you can send in a super chat. You can save it. We'll do it that way. If you send in a $5 super chat, till we have one left. And if we get to a point where like you choose one and I choose one, I'll have the chat decide which one is on the block. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna since this is like all a surprise for you, I'm putting it on you, man. Out of these 10 films from Stephen King, which one do you think should be eliminated first?
I gotta just say before we even do that, this is an excellent list. Like if this
It
was this,
is.
it's not even quite my top 10, but I could totally get behind this list because these are
Yeah.
10 excellent movies. Like this is gonna break my heart no matter how we do it. But man, the one I think I like the least is probably Silver Bullet, and I hate to say that, but I think that might be the first one for me personally.
Okay, so you're going with Silver Bullet. For me, hmm. Oh wow. Ooh, you know what? I think I gotta go with Silver Bullet as well. Out of these, and this could change, if you ask me in another minute, but I think I could get behind Silver Bullet. Yeah, I think that would be the first one to go. If anyone objects to it in the chat, you can let us know, and we will definitely make your day. We got. Wait a minute, Rachel's. Wait a minute, Rachel. We haven't even gotten there. She's sending in a super chat, and she's already saving Doctor Sleep. Oh my god. Okay, Rachel, you're all right. Thank you, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We'll keep that in the back pocket, as we say. Oh my god, that is too funny. All right, so Silver Bullet. It looks like it is going. She's laughing. Silver Bullet. It looks like it is getting the axe, pun intended. Okay, what do you think should go next, Jake?
Man,
I know, I know.
I really got to look at this because I'm just like, you might have to pick. We might have to go back and forth because I'm just gonna.
If I was to pick next, and this is tough. I love all these movies. I've seen all these movies tons of times, but I think I would go with the Dead Zone.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I'd go with
that
the
might
Dead
be
Zone.
next up. Dude, I love this movie, but I just think everything else on here might be better.
Yeah, I mean, well, that and plus, I mean, when you just stack up all the different elements, I'm just kind of like, oof, it's tough. All right, Dead Zone is on, is on the chopping block. Who would have thought? I mean, it's a great film though.
It
You know,
is.
it,
Oh
it
my
really
god, it's
is,
so good.
and I think it's underrated, even as a Stephen King film, in my opinion. Um, Melissa's saying 1408 or Doctor Sleep. Oh my god, too
Oh
funny.
man.
Well, put your thoughts in now. Put your thoughts in now. We already got an automatic save that's already been put up there. You guys are too funny, man. You guys already knew what we were going to be doing. Okay, so it looks as though the dead zone is gone. Dead zone is out of there. Okay, any thoughts on what should go next?
You're gonna hate me for this one. I think Misery might be up next for me. And like it's
Ooh,
not like again, these are all just excellent movies, but I just in terms of like out of the remaining few that I would want to rewatch right now, I think
yeah.
Misery is at the bottom of the list, which is such a bummer. It's
Ooh,
so good. It's so good. But
it
man,
is. Oh
I think
man.
1408 is an easy one to like want to slash next, but I just think that movie's criminally underrated. I've seen it like 8 or 9 times, and I get something new from it every single time. I love it. I think it's like nonstop from the moment he's like in the room. I
Hmm.
just it doesn't stop for me. Like it's just a nonstop thrill ride.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. Okay, so you're gonna go with Misery. Um, God, man, for me, oh, jeez, man. Ooh, this is so difficult. I don't know if I could. I might have to say 1408, man. I don't know. It's
That's fair.
it's
It's fair,
so
man.
tough, and I I love these movies and I love Misery. So look, let's do this. In the chat, when I say go, I'm going to have you guys let us know what should go next. Is it Misery or 1408? That's all you have to type. And I'm going to give you guys a few seconds because I know there's a lag in the chat. And what I'll do is I'll randomly scroll and pick someone, and that'll be the movie picked to be on the block. All right, so ready and go. So all you have to do is type in the movie you want eliminated next. It's either 1408 or Misery. And I'll give you a couple of seconds, and then I'll randomly scroll on my phone, and whoever I land on, that'll be the movie. It's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, both of them, I can see why both of them would be kind of the next ones thought about compared to what's left. It's about to get like super, super difficult. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I mean we're in cream of the crop territory, I feel.
We're deep in the cream, man. We
Deep in
really
the
are.
cream.
We are. Okay, I'm going to randomly scroll. Here we go. Mayan says, whoa! Mayan says Misery. Wow.
Ooh.
Misery is on the chopping block. Mayan has spoken. Holy moly, May. Wow. So if anybody is a fan of getting hobbled or Kathy Bates, this is this is your chance to save Misery. She says, sorry, Knight. It's okay. We all got our favorites. I'm not hating. If anybody wants to save Misery, now's the time to do it. If you send in the super chat, we will definitely save it. Wow, man. There was like a sea of 1408s. Oh, now we got a couple more Miseries in there. Okay.
I'm sure I kind of thought 1408 was going to go. I was like, oh man, this is
right.
That's brutal.
Right? Holy moly.
I mean, it's fair, dude. We're talking about the giants, the big hitters here.
We are. These are fantastic films, man. All right. It looks as though, wow, man, Misery's gonna go. Kathy Bates, Academy Award winner, living legend.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
Annie
Brutal.
Wilkes. All right. It's gone, man. It's gone.
Brutal.
Oh, that was brutal. Okay. Next. For me, I'm sticking with 1408 in this round, man. I think 1408 is the next one that's got to go.
I agree. I think 14. I just defended it so hard, but I'm like, yeah, no, okay. As long as it doesn't go before Misery. I don't know why. I needed that to happen. But yeah. Okay. Cool.
You may hold my sledgehammer. There you go. Oh my God. All right. Okay. And we've got Aim Punch in the house. What's up, man? Saying Stephen King is overrated. Oh no. Oh no. Not a fan of any of these.
I'm gonna pass out saying that.
The fire. Hey, I feel like Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. The fire rises. Wow. This is crazy. All right. So 1408, if anybody wants to save it, you get a couple seconds, but I think it's got to go. It's, come on. Let's make this happen. We got Hollywood Guy in the house. I tried to save Silver Bullet with the 24-month membership. Oh, you did. I didn't see that. Happy channel member anniversary, man. We appreciate all the support. Glad that you're here tonight too, bro. Hope you are doing well. There it is. StreamYard didn't even pop it up for me. 24 months. Look, man, seriously. I mean, we appreciate it. We're 23 months, but we're right there. Thank you so much for all the support, bro. We appreciate it. And thank you so much for the super chat. Do you want to use that to save 1408 though, man? You could do that.
Be kind of crazy.
I mean, you could do that. I'm just saying. All right, 1408 is gone, man. 1408 is gone. We got to call it. Okay, Jake, we're getting down to the middle of the cream here. What's got to go next?
Dude.
I know.
Dude, I don't want to even say it. I think Carrie White's got to go, dude.
Ooh.
I know.
Bro, you better be glad my girl doesn't hear you because this is her favorite movie, man. And she would literally be like, what? what?
It's great. It is an excellent movie, but I'm at the like I'm literally at the point where I'm like I have to start looking for the smallest little things I don't like about these films because I mean like across the
Yeah.
board these are some of my favorite Stephen Kings.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's true, man. For me, oh man. I know. Man's like Coriander will smack you. She loves that movie. We've got like 2 posters. Um, it's crazy. Look at these guys, they're going crazy. Rachel's like,
Oh man.
Jake, dude, no.
Here's my thing. Like I'm already at the point where I know what's got to be the last one. There look, all these movies are great, but there's one that's just like it's got to be that one.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all
yeah.
I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know.
Okay, I got you. All right, well, I'm not gonna go with Gary.
Okay.
Because I gotta be able to sleep tonight, bro. Gary's gotta hang in there a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'm gonna I'm and this hurts to even say this. Um my buddy Eric will probably be, what? I think I'm gonna go with Pet Cemetery.
Oh man.
And I
Fred
love Pet
Gwynn
Cemetery.
though,
I know
dead is
sometimes
better.
dead is better. I loved him. See, that was, and I don't want to go on a tangent, and I love John Lithgow. Okay. I absolutely love him. He's a legend too. But I just felt like Fred tapped into that character in a way that was awesome and yet haunting. I know I
Yeah.
keep using that word, but that's like the only word I could think of. He was just so great in that role. It's so hard to see anyone else as Judd, you know what I mean? So
He's the greatest like harbinger character of all time. Like nobody comes close.
yeah,
In my opinion, like just the person who's going to warn you about the danger, even though you're still going to go seek it out, kind of
right,
vibe. You know,
right,
no,
right,
it's
right.
just it's the best. And I love when South Park uses him in the random episodes. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
funny, dude. It's like, don't go up on that hill now, you know? Or whatever. Like he'll just pop into a scene randomly. Oh my god, it cracks me up. I don't know. It's just iconic,
Oh,
man. But if that's got
yeah,
to go, fine. It'll bum me out.
yeah.
But let's do it.
Let's see what the chat will say. So we've got Carrie or we've got Pet Cemetery. Let's have you guys throw it in the chat. What needs to go next? Just write Pet Cemetery or Carrie. I'll randomly scroll and we'll see. We'll see what goes on the chopping block. These are both great films too, man. I mean, there's no doubt about it. All of these films are awesome. Paul is having a blast, you guys. Oh my god, too funny, man. Um, and Melissa is being honest here. She's saying not a fan of a lot of King movies. That's fair enough. I think there is a certain aesthetic to a lot of his films because there's a certain aesthetic to his stories. And I think it also, and obviously he's had movies that have been made in recent years and also stories that he's written in recent years and so forth, but I think like a lot of those most famous stories came from a certain time period, a certain style of horror as well, and he's just always been a character person, in my opinion. That's where his story, that's his foundation, which I mean I think it should be in any story, but I mean when you think of horror, I think there are certain fans that want that, bam, 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 the blood, boom, 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 boom. And, to keep going, and that's not what Stephen King does. He really gets you with the tension and that slow burn with a lot of his stories.
Well, and I also think that out of everything that I've read, the majority of it does not end happily. Like he's not a
Yeah,
fan of a happy ending by any means. And you
true.
kind of gotta you kind of gotta be down to, see like a really dark and kind of cynical ending to stories if you're into that kind of thing. Because I mean, 99% of his stories end that way.
That's true.
That's just the way it is,
Yeah, very true. All right, guys, in the chat, I'm going to scroll randomly on my phone and then point. And we, of course, we did. We went with Melissa, who said Pet Cemetery. So Pet Cemetery is gone. It's gone, man. Okay. Wow. Look at this list, bro. This is wow. Oh my god. Okay, don't anyone tell Coriander this. I think Carrie might be next.
Dude, and I hate to say it, but yeah, I think it's Carrie next. Like that's just
Wow.
like my only criticism of that whole film is I think
Mhm.
it just takes a little too long to get to where it's going.
That's fair. Yeah.
That is my, I mean, I'm not even kidding, man.
Yeah.
My singular criticism of the entire, like the rest of it is pure perfection, but just the
Yeah.
pacing is just maybe just a little slow, which is, I think, literally that one little sliver, that one little pube hair of a criticism is why it's, is why it's going down there for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, Carrie's on the chopping block. If there's any, if Coriander was watching this, she would send it a super chat. They're like, "What are you doing? This is our channel, bro." If anybody wants to save Carrie, now's the time to do it. We've got some interesting stuff going on in the chat. Uh, Rachel's like, Knight is so scared of Coriander's wrath. I am. I really am. But
Blame
I
it on
love it
me.
too.
Just say that jackass Jake came on here and started shitting on Carrie. He thinks it's terrible. What an idiot.
She'll be like, "Why'd you even have him come on the channel?" No, she would never say that. She loves you. Like I said, man, right beside one of our Carrie posters, we have your red right hand poster right there.
Oh man.
It's all good. All right, so Carrie's gone, man. All right, so now I'm curious. I'm putting you on the spot, man. We've got The Shining, The Mist, Doctor Sleep, and Shawshank left. What goes next, man?
Like it just breaks my heart no matter what I do. I think I'm just just axe through the heart basically. Man, maybe Doctor Sleep, which bums me out, but we do have a save for this one.
That's true. Okay, that's true. There is a save. So, okay, let me see what I would pick. Oh, dude.
These are literal masterpieces we're talking about here. I mean, these are in my opinion, we're talking about all movies that are 10 out of 10s.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? I'm gonna take a huge left turn here. And I love this movie, but I don't know, man. I might like Doctor Sleep just a smidgen more. I'm gonna vote for The Mist.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
And it's hard to even say it out loud. If I feel like I'm betraying somebody when I say these out loud, it's horrible. All right, so I'm gonna go with The Mist. You're going with Doctor Sleep. Let's do a random scroll in the chat. Let's have you guys ready, set, go. Write in Doctor Sleep or The Mist. That'll be the one on the block. And of course, if it's Doctor Sleep, it's saved. So really, technically, I guess we just got to go with The Mist. Yeah, technically speaking. So The Mist, let's make this easy. The Mist is on the chopping block because Doctor Sleep already has the save. So if anybody wants to save The Mist, this is the time to do it. I know Rachel's happy about that. She's a huge fan of Doctor Sleep. She was not playing around tonight. So listen, let's do this too. I want to do this real quick because we've had you guys gifting memberships and sending in super chats and stuff like that. Let me just play a quick clip for you guys, just have some fun, and we'll give you guys a few more seconds in case anybody wants to save The Mist. Let's do a quick super chat clip. Jake, sometimes when you think you know what one of your favorite heroes will do, you might get surprised big time, and it could look like this.
Where are you from, stranger?
Nowhere nice.
Yes, Bo.
Shut your hole!
Feel so good in my hood tonight.
There it is. There it is. Rest in peace to Roddy Piper. All right. So shut your hole. All right. So The Mist is going to be eliminated. And that's right, Aim Punch saying, and you blew it. You blew it. That's right. All right. So The Mist is gone. Okay. Next, Jake. I mean, wow.
I can't say Shawshank or The Shining,
Yeah.
like I can't say those next.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to agree with you on this. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, yeah, we got Rachel's probably like, what? We're gonna put Doctor Sleep up. If anybody else wants to save it, you can. But yeah, I think Doctor Sleep, out of these that are left, we've got The Shining, Shawshank, and Doctor Sleep next. I think Doctor Sleep goes, and I love Doctor Sleep. Who knows, in a few more years, I think it's, and I know you said it's close to The Shining. For me, I don't know how close I would say it is to The Shining because I absolutely love The Shining, but I could see Doctor Sleep moving closer and closer in my own head, in the next few years because I love this movie so much and I've loved it more and more as time has gone on. It's so good.
Yeah, and I think that's weirdly part of this is like The Shining and Shawshank are movies that have been with me my whole life. I've seen them so many times, dissertation sessions with the friends about these flicks. I mean,
Yeah.
I have broken these movies down so many different times. And I mean, The Shining, it's one of those movies that they like literally teach college classes on because there's so many angles and conspiracy theories with it. It's just such a it's like it's the movie that's got to be our number one. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to say anything else.
It's so difficult.
I
All
know.
right. Doctor Sleep is gone. We're down to the wire. Jack Nicholson, Tim Robbins, Shelley Duvall, Morgan Freeman. Let's go. What's getting taken out next, man?
Listen, these are two of the very best King flicks. The
Yes.
scene, I mean, where he's coming out, dragging himself through the poop tunnel. There's nothing more triumphant in a film. There's nothing. I can't name even one thing. Like, oh my god, it's amazing. But I think Shawshank's got to go next for me personally.
Listen, I'll tell you what. Both of these films are fantastic. They truly are. But one of them is a film that it's stuck with me for so long in my life that's the one I want for the final. And so I think the next one that has to go is Shawshank Redemption as well. I think it has to go. The Shining is, bro, I got a poster of The Shining right in my bedroom. It's like, come on, man. It's just one of those films. And Shawshank, is literally perfect. But I want that horror. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's another big factor in the decision.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, it is like one of the scariest ghost stories I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's a movie that's like, what is it? It's 45 years old, and I mean, it is still it's you watch it today, and it's like it could have came out today. That's a movie that could have came out yesterday, and I believe you. I mean, the impact, no other movie on this list has had the same impact as The Shining, I think. And it's just, it's iconic. It's stood the test of time. It's amazing.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Rachel was like, boo. And then Aim Punch said The Shining is The Shining. Like, seriously, it's amazing. Scott saying Shawshank is one of those films that kept me sane in the truly dark times of my life. And I can definitely understand that. It's a fantastic film, but I'm going with the horror. If anybody disagrees with that, if you are a fan of the Shawshank Redemption over The Shining, you could definitely voice your opinion and save it. But otherwise, we'll give you guys a few seconds. And I think this is kind of how I saw it was going to end as well, because I'm a huge fan of The Shining. But I will say, shout out to Dr. Sleep for being one of those types of films that it's moving up in my list, all-time list for horror. It's one of those films, every so often I kind of do that. I'll just kind of think of an all-time list of about whatever, 30 or 40 films. And Dr. Sleep, it just always kind of creeps and creeps and creeps up because it's just so good.
Yeah.
It's just so good. So who knows in another decade where I'd have it for myself personally. But all right. Mary's in the house too. What is up, Mary? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Saying The Shining is great. It still holds up till this day. It does. It really, really does. I agree. All right, guys. Shawshank is gone. It's a fantastic film. Obviously, we want it to be horror centric. The Shining wins. The Shining wins. Jack is victorious.
He didn't freeze to death this time.
He
So.
did. He did. He found his way to the top. So look, guys, there's there's our list. We had a lot of fun with that. Hopefully you guys did as well. Jake, that was a fun list, and I know I put you on the spot, but man, we were talking about Stephen King's The Long Walk, and I said to myself, man, we got to just talk about some of these other films and how we would possibly rank them kind of in a free for all. So there you go.
Yeah, dude, no, I love it. I love it. This is a great list too. I think this is a lot of films that I'm glad we got to touch on.
Yeah, man. And for anybody, if you haven't seen any of these films, definitely check them out. They are some really good films. Some of them are absolute classics. And I grew up on a lot of these. And so, anyways, it was a really fun thing to do this list. Rachel, thank you so much, saying this was such a fun stream. We had a blast as well. All right, so let's take that off. Any final thoughts, Jake, as we close on out here? This was a lot of fun, man. Thank you so much for being here tonight as we we start doing this thing hopefully on a weekly basis on Thursday night.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I guess I'm excited to talk next Thursday, especially because we're going to be gearing up to go seeing the Strangers Chapter 2. So there's going to be a lot of excitement? Question mark? I maybe not the right word, but definitely a lot of talk on that for the next stream for sure.
Yeah, man, it could be some serious mudslinging. Who knows, man? I'm so damn curious, man. I am so damn curious, and we'll see if they can pull it off. Rennie Harlan, man, I think is a very talented filmmaker. And when Chapter 1 was coming out, he had a lot of passion behind it and talked a lot about his approach. I think they had a lot of missteps with that first one, but I'm hoping that this story really takes us into some interesting places. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Who knows? I don't know. But for you guys here, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. If you're not subscribed to Killjoy Jake, make sure you guys do that. We have had the link in the chat. Thank you so much for you guys, man, and Rachel, you guys putting Jake's link in there. Also, the link is in the description. You guys know what's going on. You got to make sure that you hook my man up if you haven't already, which I'm sure most of you guys have. Everyone here looks like they're very familiar in your chats too, man. All right. So we will catch you guys next time. We've got a Lethal Collective coming up on Monday. Jake's got streams and videos every day, 24 hours a day. I'll be I don't know how you do it sometimes, man. Seriously.
I'm
It's
so
amazing.
tired.
Dude, you are a monster, a wizard.
I just snore, man. I just snoring all night long. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
It's all good, brother. All right. So, and he's at nice. What channel? Killjoy Jake.
If you
Come
want.
on.
If you
want.
feel like it. Whatever.
Yeah, Paula. Come on. You know the drill. All right. So we will catch you guys next time. Take it easy. And as always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.